Thomas Moser and Christopher Showerman on the Fishbowl. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to swim in the bowl with me.
Our pleasure, man.
Day for a swim, yeah.
I hope the temperature is just right.
Oh man, well it's 90 degrees here, so yeah, glad to do it.
It's hot and humid here. We here in Pittsburgh, PA, we've been getting a nice dose of hot and sticky and just ugly humid weather. But
you guys get the real humid.
Yeah. It's a little overwhelming, but like unfortunately, like Pittsburgh weather sucks. We've kind of shifted from like not having spring at all to having like long winters and then right into summer.
Yeah. Well, LA's. I guess we have our summer runs from June to the following June. So
right. That's my kind of weather.
December 15th until the morning of the next December 15th. Then we get 6 minutes of rain, and then we're back to summer again.
Oh yeah. That's my favorite weekend. Is that?
It's winter
when it rains.
Right.
LA is my kind of weather. I was actually planning to kind of hopefully move out there, but then like COVID happened and kind of pushed me back a little bit. But
oh man,
well I think your timing might be perfect, Sam, because as everybody gets evicted from their homes because they're not paying rent, then there'll be a whole bunch of housing available for you to come on.
Right. I actually this past Monday I had the pleasure of talking with the actor Patrick Kilpatrick, who's one of the people running for governor of California. Kind of gave me his spiel on how he feels he can hopefully fix the situation. But it might just be the right time. So. Who knows?
Well, come on out, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
So first I want to say that like I'm a huge fan of like both of you guys. I've actually been following your careers for a while. Thomas, I love the visual effects stuff you've done on Becky, Hard Deal. Hunter's Moon.
Well, thank you.
Christopher. There's a lot of stuff. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Big Game. I especially like George of the Jungle too.
Oh, thanks, man. That was a good time.
Awesome. Well, my first question for you guys is, what got you interested in film?
Tom, why don't you start with it?
Oh gosh, I get, for me it goes back to, it was almost an epiphany moment, actually. It wasn't like a gradual thing where, you're just like, oh, I get into creative things. Like, I learned one day that the movie Jaws, E.T., and Raiders of the Lost Ark were all made by the same guy. And I realized, like, oh, well, this is a job that does. And I'd been drawing, like, I work in cartoons as well. And yeah, film and also animation, I work in animation, kind of combine just all the things that I love. So, between storytelling and drawing and editing and, music and acting and all those things, they just all come together in film.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because, Spielberg must have launched a lot of careers. It was E.T. that made me think, oh, I want to make movies because I want to make people feel the way that I feel after I just watched this movie. So yeah, we owe it all to Spielberg.
For me, I think it has to be Back to the Future. When I was 3 years old, it's literally the first memory that like I can actually remember. I was 3 years old in a movie theater that has since been shut down long time. I was 3 years old watching Back to the Future Part 3, and it was something about like that trilogy has been like dear to my heart, kind of like ever since, and I can probably quote. Uh,
Oh
almost
yeah.
on cue, every line in the whole trilogy.
Oh.
But
You got started pretty early then. If you were going to the theater at 3, that's amazing.
yeah, I mean, movies are a big passion of mine. I actually went to school here in Pittsburgh for screenwriting.
Okay.
And I have like two scripts published on Amazon, and I've been doing like pretty okay in like some competitions and stuff. Um,
Oh,
but
Great.
yeah, thank you. But I'm really really into movies. My first R-rated movie was Total Recall, and
Well,
that
that's
was at
quite.
age 5.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite the experience.
yeah.
You know,
How old were you when you saw Total Recall, Sam?
5 years old when I saw that.
Oh
Um,
my God. First
I
R-rated movie.
Yeah.
and
Well,
that
no,
was
coincidentally.
only after like I begged my dad from like age 3 to like let me watch it on VHS, and he finally gave in on like my 5th birthday, and all he did was cover my eyes on the three-titted lady.
Oh, that was.
And
Yeah.
like
There's.
I've later like asked my dad and like in like adulthood, so like what was your like thought process with like letting me watch like all this like hardcore like content like so young, and because when I was like little, I mean I was drawing like monsters and like war and shooting and like all this stuff that clearly brought like a lot of parent teacher conferences, and and my dad was like the stay at home dad, so like he was the one who always went to these things, and his
Right.
honest to God answer to me was like, you have to understand, like shooting monsters, war, like what do you want? He's a boy. But if you start drawing like boobs and stuff like that, I have a lot to like answer for.
They, yeah. All I can say is the '80s was a very different.
Right, right.
I watched everything as a kid. There was essentially nothing off. And coincidentally, I rewatched Total Recall about 2 weeks ago, and and I love that movie. But man, it's over the top. Like it's kind of okay, but it's just so cartoonish.
Right. But some pretty disturbing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it like I have to say that like it left like such an impression on me that like I mean first of all like my two all time favorite heroes now are clearly Schwarzenegger and Stallone.
Ah,
Like
Sure.
hands down. I have a wall in my room like dedicated to like I call it my shrine, if you will, of like Schwarzenegger memorabilia and action figures and posters and just all this stuff I've like bought over the years because it's like a bucket list item to like meet and interview and maybe just maybe become friends with Arnold and Stallone.
Yeah.
have you had a chance to have any conversations with either of them yet?
I have not. I've contacted Stallone's publicist, and
Mhm.
they basically told me that I need to get more listeners
Oh yeah.
to kind of get Stallone. And it was cool because like I was like, wait a minute, they didn't tell me to fuck off or anything.
Right.
They just told me to like get more listeners, and it's like it could be a possibility. I I, I
Yeah,
have
that's cool.
I have gotten close to Schwarzenegger because I've had Bill Duke on the show, who was Mac with him in Predator,
Oh yeah.
and he also was in Commando with him, which was
In his own right. That's really cool that you had him on the show.
yeah, yeah. That was like a major boost for me in terms of like credibility. I was also able to have Vernon Wells, who was the Bennett, the bad guy in Commando, and he
Uh,
was also the Mohawk motorcycle guy in Road Warrior.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
an Australian guy, right?
Yeah, Australian.
I just
Awesome.
watched him in. He was the heavy in the movie Inner Space.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's great.
No, I got to meet the closest I got with Sly was I met the cast of the not Untouchables. What was the movie those guys all did?
Expendables.
Yeah, it was the whole cast of Expendables. Dolph was there. I actually just worked on a movie with Dolph. That'll hopefully be coming out in a few months. I'm not sure what the distribution deal is on that, but I had met him when they were promoting Expendables. And yeah, that was a crazy bunch of guys. But Stallone was not there for whatever reason. But
Was Schwarzenegger there?
No, is he in that? I think he does a cameo.
He's in one
Yeah,
of them.
he does a cameo in the first one, and then he has a bigger role in the second and the third.
But I'll tell you who I loved was Wesley Snipes. Like that, he was so cool. That guy is really, he's such a nice guy, very down to earth. Yeah, he was cool.
That's another guy I would love to get on my show. I've been following Snipes' career since probably since King of New York.
Oh yeah.
Well, Tom might be able to hook you up with Channing Tatum because I know this guy.
Yeah. Are you referring to my best friend Channing Tatum?
Your best friend Channing Tatum. They got to do a photo op with you.
Bro, G.I. Joe and Magic Mike. That Channing Tatum.
That's the one. That's the one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, it's great. Well, Sam, did you get a chance to see Double Blind yet?
I did.
I thank you.
I really liked it a lot. I had a bunch of questions to ask you guys about it. The first one was, and this definitely struck me with like the genre film that it was. And that was and this is kind of like a double question for both of you. But what was some of the inspirations for story and characters in the film?
We got to start with Tom because this is his story. So.
Oh well, the whole thing, the project started with us wanting to do. Just do a project together. Me, Chris, my wife Catherine, and our friend Jen. We're all co-producers on the film. And we wanted to do something, or I wanted to do something that was basically possible to do sort of one-man band style. And I had just seen a couple of films, one of them called Monster with Gareth Edwards. That's his film. And then another called For Lovers Only, which was a film by the Polish brothers done in this, a throwback French New Wave style. And I kind of got the idea of doing something like that, like black and white, all handheld, something you could basically roll out of bed and start shooting. But I want to do a genre film, like action movie, spies, science fiction, whatever. And we kind of thought about a spy thriller as being sort of, accessible, like, something that we could do just, ourselves, like on a low budget and with a small crew. And that was sort of the germ of the idea. And because we were doing it in the style that we were doing it, we wanted to use a lot of convention. Like, I didn't want to reinvent the spy thriller. I wanted it to be a pretty conventional story, good guys versus bad guys. And that was it. And then we wrote the story around this core group of actors.
Awesome. Christopher, did you want to respond at all?
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously, we had the same purpose at the beginning, is just to work together. And Tom's idea to come up with something where we could move quickly. He could be the entire crew, and we could all jump in as we needed to. So that part of the project was super exciting. But then when he came up with a spy story, and allowed me play this. Basically, he's kind of a little James Bondian at first, but it's even better because he has a heart. We get to see, that he kind of cares. My favorite part of it is when my character is sort of taken with the little girl that we're trying to save. So the paternal relationship that I get to have with Tom's daughter's character. So that was probably my favorite part of getting to play John Smith.
I did really like that interaction in the film, and the whole film definitely had like a good sense of tension going on throughout with the situation that the characters are thrown into, and I like that your character was, even though Jessica's character was kind of like the stern one. You were trying to, ease the situation and kind of calm everyone down, and but still be the tough, badass that your character is.
Well, that's a role that Chris plays in real life, so we wrote it around him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's the whole team, the balance of the whole team was kind of perfect. It was sort of a perfect storm for us. So, that was a lot of fun. And the story that they came up with was smart and made sense and was doable on this impossible budget. So, it was kind of a little perfect storm, the paradise of a movie to get to do.
Awesome. I loved the villain. The name is blanking on me right now, but
Daniel.
yes.
Garrett.
Yes. When I was watching it, I was like, I know him from somewhere, and I had to like look up his IMDb, and Quarry was where I saw him in
Awesome.
that miniseries on Cinemax a couple years ago that I was kind of wondering like whatever happened to it, because they left it off to like do more, but his performance was excellent as the hitman, mercenary, and he had a very strong presence as like like a sinister kind of menacing, quiet guy, but knows what he's doing.
Oh, thanks.
Well,
Yeah, he was a
great
fine.
to hear you play. Yeah, we were worried about that role because in casting it, we were all talking about how do you find somebody that can start off the movie with innocence, the sweetness, and turn that into something sinister by the end of the movie. And he walked that tightrope kind of perfectly. Yeah. Philip and I were in a live show together. That's how I knew about him initially. And I loved working with this live show. And so when it came up, we all decided to meet him and give him a shot, and he nailed it. And you're not the first person to say that that really stood out, because that is a real standout performance in the movie.
Yeah, and I should say that, we had a cast of, I think it's about 30 characters in this film, and we didn't audition anyone. Like, these were all friends of ours. And, it was just a great opportunity to work with people that we've been wanting to work with. And, it was just all very serendipitous. So many people were just happy to contribute their time. We're just forever grateful. But yeah, they were all friends. It was such a family-oriented project.
Right.
Very cool. Well, it definitely translates on screen with how the characters interact and their chemistry and everything. I also loved Jessica's character's father.
Oh yeah.
Who?
Chaz Lip.
Yeah. His character, because I like that, it followed that kind of like, Skyfall. You know.
Oh yeah.
Where you know.
Well, thank you for that comparison.
Yeah.
Well, in the genre of like the film, they had to go to the old man, for who knew how to like handle himself, for protection, and there was that showdown which was great, where the daughter gets kidnapped, and they it goes into the very awesome climax, which kind of reminded me a little bit of like the first Lethal Weapon, where they go out into the desert, to get Murtaugh's daughter back, and
Oh, it's funny you bring that up because that was the inspiration for that scene. Was that scene in Lethal Weapon? Yeah, in fact, I had previously shot a couple of films out at that lake bed where they filmed that scene in Lethal Weapon, and so that was what was in my head, when we were developing that scene. Yeah, so I love that. I love that moment in that film.
That's fantastic, Tom. Sam, this is the first time I'm hearing about this, so that's.
It definitely I think for fans of the genre, they'll get kind of the scenes inserted throughout the film, and the sequences to kind of get where little Easter eggs, I guess, taken from different different genre films that combine into one.
Yeah,
But
well, yeah, like I said, we did want to kind of keep close to convention. So, I did want it to be reminiscent of films that you've seen in that genre. And that was kind of a deliberate choice because we were going, outside of the box in terms of the style. Yeah, so, I wanted something that the audience could kind of be familiar with.
Absolutely. The I also like the kind of conspiracy theory plot line going on with like a cure for cancer, and major corporations.
Yeah, it's far fetched. I know that these companies try to screw us over like that.
Yeah.
I follow like a lot of like conspiracy theory stuffs, and like the paranormal and all that. I'm really into that stuff. I totally believe Bigfoot exists.
Okay.
Aliens are real. And
who's to say Bigfoot isn't actually just a big hairy alien?
Right, exactly.
Right,
exactly. It's actually very interesting because I'm like so like into that stuff that like, and when I was in college, this is totally like a side note, but I when I was in college, I was in like a philosophy class, and we had to like write like a 10-page paper on like a hypothetical theory and how would you prove it. And my sister like showed me this video of this primatologist doctor who apparently like discovered this totally unknown species of ape, and I think that it's been like maybe like 60 years or something, maybe less, since like we discovered them, and they like live in a remote region of the Congo that was unexplored. And these apes, they're called bonobo apes. They have feet like humans, hands like humans. There's like they've been studied to have sex for pleasure, not just procreation. There's theories that they have their own religion, and this doctor has been like working with this I think it was the son of this one ape that they took to try and like teach it how to communicate, and like they were originally working with the mother who was an adult, and infant son at the time was just like in the room with them, and they were having a hard time teaching anything to the mother because she was an adult, and the child bonobo ape picked up on its own what the doctor was trying to teach his mother, and I think now
It's a true
that
story. Does that happen?
yeah, it's all like on YouTube. You can check it out. Kanzi is the name of the ape. Bonobo apes. And like this thing is super smart. It reminds me of like that movie Congo from the '90s with
Oh yeah. I was gonna say Planet of the Apes, but yeah.
yeah, Planet of the Apes and Congo is like the two movies that it reminds me of. But yeah, it apparently has like a sense of humor, like highly intelligent. And if you look at what these apes look like, and then you go back to that like famous 1960s footage at like the construction site where they supposedly like took video of a Bigfoot, and you like you do the zoom in thing that they have, and you compare like what the two look like. I'm telling you what, there is a very keen significance to what bonobo apes look like and what that footage looks like. Just bonobo apes are
Would
a
be
lot
big.
smaller.
No.
I think it's Bonobo. I think so.
Yeah, but bonobos are a kind of change. So they're actually the closest related cousins to humans on the planet.
Yeah,
So they're very similar.
yeah. It was very interesting. I got an A on the paper, so I
Cool.
proved my thesis. So,
Pretty impressive.
um, but let's get back to double blind here. Uh, one of the questions I wanted to ask is how long did it take to shoot the film?
That's a good question. We got the whole thing on pretty much on weekends. It was just that kind of project, and we shot on weekends, probably over the course of about 3 or 4 months, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, the longest stretch was, all of the stuff that we shot in the cabin was shot over a weekend in Wrightwood. We rented a cabin. We, brought everybody up there and just shot like 35 pages of script in 2 days. It was bananas, but we got it done. We were so proud, and yeah, I'm really happy with how all that stuff. But yeah, that was it. It was just over 3 or 4 months, whenever people had time, and then we, just weekends here and there.
3 or 4 months, but if you just took the days that we shot, it's like a week and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Again, like there was some great action sequences in there, and I was wondering what all went into creating those sequences. The gun effects, stuff like that.
That's Chris. That's your area. I think you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so the action, it was all kind of a choreograph, and we used a buddy of mine, Jader Harris, helped us with a lot of the stunt choreography. And so in choreographing, one of the main dancers is the camera. You have to sell whatever action that we're trying to sell. He has to know where to put the camera to keep the actors safe and to keep the action believable. So that was kind of fun to get to do that and figure out how to do it safely. And sometimes we figured out how to do it unsafely first, and that's how we that's what we had.
Awesome. It definitely translated great on screen. There were, I mean, the cabin shootout was great. I loved, the thugs coming in. I love how the father character kind of got knocked off, even though like he was able to get like one of the bad guys, which is definitely such like a action movie cliche that's that works because that's how those movies work.
Right.
And
you gotta fall in love with somebody and then kill them.
right. but I love that sequence, and then of course the Lethal Weapon showdown was excellent as well. I loved how in the end the 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 name is escaping me, but the mother who you were protecting, I love how she kind of got like her justice against the main conspirator, man behind the scenes, bad guy at the end from the pharmaceutical company, and she got away with it, kind of, scot free.
That's one of the favorite parts of the script is that we're supposedly these couple of badasses that are coming in to save the day, and really it's mom, it's Hannah that seals the deal that we both know that we can't legally do, but she can get away with because she uses her brains, not her broad, to get.
Yeah, she's the scientist,
right,
the
right,
mad scientist of the group.
Right.
Yeah, I love how that all kind of came to a climactic end, and the dialogue was another thing that I really liked. It was like it was so cliche, but like it worked, because it it took notice. It was kind of like self aware of what type of film it was supposed to be, modeling it.
Yeah, I mean that was all. Yeah, that was all part of making that kind of film. Like I said, just keeping with the tropes and keeping with the sort of the characters that you find in those kinds of movies. Yeah.
Also, too, a lot of those scenes, we would have to. I'm thinking of a few scenes in particular where we knew that we were going to adjust for the reality of our situation when we got there, because you never know, especially when doing a movie on this budget, things change at a moment's notice, and so we're rewriting scenes and we're collaborating together, because this is Tom's script, but we would all sit down and go, well, what would this guy do to deal with this situation? And we'd have to usually take a big roundabout way to get to the words that finally got spoken on screen, because it was getting rewritten up to the last minute. But I was pretty pleased with how it finally turned out.
I think it was a very enjoyable, great little indie action film. I really enjoyed it. There were a few moments where I was definitely like glued to my seat, with some of the action sequences, like at the cabin and the showdown at the end. I was definitely very, very intrigued with what was going on.
I'm glad to hear it.
Absolutely. Is there a potential chance of a sequel?
Good question, Tom. Is there?
I have to tell you that as we've been out, because the film just got on Amazon Prime, and so as we've been kind of I haven't seen these guys because of the pandemic in a year, and so getting out here and sort of getting in conversations with them again and talking about the movie again, just remembering how fun it was to make, and working with these guys is just an absolute joy. The thought has crossed my mind to do another one, or at least do something.
Awesome. It definitely leaves off for there could be something big in the works.
Yeah, we're headed to Brazil or something, right, Tom? Where did you have us going to in that last moment?
Oh gosh,
I think what was it, Beijing or something?
Yeah, something like that.
I knew it was.
Oh, that would be amazing. So we go from a $3,000 budget to a $100 million budget. I think we can do that. That's the next logical step.
Right.
Awesome. Well, I have two closer questions for you guys, and that is the first one is, what are some of your favorite films, and this is just in general, and if you guys have any other upcoming projects.
Oh gosh, Chris, you want to go?
Yeah, we could probably both go on, talk your ear off for hours about our story is always a thing for me. So I don't really have a genre that I gravitate to so much, but definitely like any story that moves you emotionally. So or surprises me, or does something fresh that I haven't seen before. So for me, I think the most recent favorite thing that I saw was called Soul, because I was really moved by storytelling there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Soul was great.
No, I loved it. Yeah. Okay, Tom, what about you?
I've got many favorites. Raiders of the Lost Ark is, sort of the typical like Godfather, Casablanca, Citizen, The Shining, The Thing, Jaws, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I mean, Star Wars. I could literally Back to the trilogy. When you brought that up, it was really interesting to me because that film, in particular the first one, but really the trilogy, is so. I don't think that it has lost one bit of popularity since it first came 36 years ago. I was doing a project a few years ago about, movie locations that you could actually go see. And we were debating about which film to kind of start the ball rolling, basically, like what would be a good move to pilot. And Back to the Future, man. Like, everybody loves that movie. Everybody loves talking about that movie. Like, that's got to be up there. Jurassic Park, Schindler's List for me. Trying to think, gosh, the more recent. I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe just as a whole. Like, there are some films better than others in there, but they're all good. Some great. Man, I love those films. Like, I've got a lot. I'm just a movie fan. And then for upcoming projects, I'm currently working on a show called Duncanville, and that's on Fox as part of their Animation Domination lineup. So check that out. It's a great show. It stars created by and starring Amy Poehler, and it's just a really fun family.
Awesome. I feel like I should.
I think probably. Oh, I was just gonna say. I think one of the reasons why Back to the Future may have aged so well. We think that it was shot back in the 80s, but perhaps Zemeckis got shot back to the future and then sent the film back to the 80s.
That's the only explanation.
It's the only way to explain how it's done so well over time.
Absolutely. Thomas, I feel like I just should mention this to you since you're also into animation. And this is also a bit of movie nostalgia. Obviously being from Pittsburgh, we are the ground central for the land of zombies.
Okay, yeah.
When I was starting to go to school for screenwriting, my mom went to an estate sale, and it happened to be George Romero's ex-wife, and
okay.
she got me his desk.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I've been writing screenplays on George Romero's desk, and I've come up with this idea. It's published on Amazon and everything, but it's a zombie comedy pilot that I've been tweaking over the years. But it's basically supposed to be an animated zombie comedy TV show where all the zombie universes are combined into one series, and so much so that the protagonist is supposed to be Boris Karloff.
Oh, okay.
And it's the script is called Grr, with an exclamation point, a zombie love story. And he basically falls in love with the Bride of Frankenstein, but has to kill his human wife, who's trying to kill him over a life insurance policy.
Well, you can't. Can you kill him? Is that possible?
It's very. There's gonna be an Italian hitman. Actually, I have Tom Savini playing two different characters.
Nice.
in this show, and the pilot episode is his wife and her high school lover are trying to kill Gurr, and they basically end up hiring a hitman who is literally named Antonio Savini, but he's just known in the script as Savini, to kill him. And throughout the series, it'll be a very Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner type scenario where he'll be trying to kill the zombie, and by dumb luck, the the zombie like always gets away.
Of course. Sounds awesome.
Thank you. I'm trying to get like the series written, and the pilot episode has been doing really well, and some film festival competitions and some screenwriting competitions. So I'm like hoping something goes with it soon. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you.
Oh, great.
That's hilarious. Sounds like there was a little magic left in that desk.
Yeah,
That you got.
yeah, definitely. I've been told like it sounds like a Stephen King story. So
A Stephen King comedy.
yeah, exactly. Awesome.
I hope you have one of the characters, maybe one of the African American characters, come on and go,
Yeah, yeah. I actually have
I'm
one,
telling
and
you, girl.
yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely hysterical and so absurd. With the premise that like it's something in like the zombie genre that hasn't been done yet. And there's a lot of Living Dead Pittsburgh jokes throughout. So I'm hoping.
It's going to be a fan favorite, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, people who really know the genre are going to recognize all the inside jokes you've got in it.
Yeah, exactly. And the way I kind of get away with like no one's suing me. Oh.
Yeah, how do you do that? I've been looking for the answer for that.
Basically, all the characters' names are like the actors' names who played the zombies in the film. So, like for instance, like the famous zombie from Return of the Living Dead. I think he's known as Tarman, the Tarman zombie. Um, the actor who played him is named Alan Trutman. So I just named the zombie Alan Tarman. Um, so like they like in like the script they get like the reference for who he's supposed to be without like you know me getting sued by the Dan O'Bannon estate or something. And then
well, I don't know. Can you get could you get sued for a name, Tom? Do you know? Can I use a name of a character? Like,
yeah, anything
name my
like
character
that.
Murtaugh?
Anything like that where you're portraying even accidental real people. I mean, consultant entertainment attorney.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Right. I actually was advised by my screenwriting teacher when I told him that like I wanted Gurr to be Boris Karloff, and he told me that like spell the name like weird, so you don't so the Karloff estate doesn't sue you.
Yeah.
Right.
So that it's like it starts with a C and then there's like 4 R's and there, so it's not anywhere close, but it's.
Now, if you could get Boris Karloff's zombie to play the role, then you've got a hit on your hands.
Right. So I'm hoping to do big things with it. Still kind of in like the process of working everything out with like the first season, but I have like a spin-off series that would kind of spoof like Mork and Mindy. And
really?
only it would be called Dork and Cindy.
Oh man, you're a hit machine, Sam. Listen to you. The hits keep coming.
Thank you, Christopher. Awesome. Well, guys, I don't want to talk your ears off too much here about my own hopes and aspirations here, but it has been a pleasure talking with you guys. I would love to have both you guys on the show again anytime. Thank you so much for taking the time to swim in the bowl with me. I hope the temperature was just right.
All right, well, thank you, man.
Thank you so much, Sam. This was a blast. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'll see you.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.